Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And I don't know about you, but you would really struggle to find an ecosystem like the ecosystem that Vechain is building. It is spectacular. For a outside of the top 20 company at the moment in the world when it comes to cryptocurrencies, when you look at this, it is absolutely insane. Let's take a look at it from a closer look, right? When we look at the research, the kind of companies that are in there, when we look at bulk commodities, transport insurance, smart city, FMCG, fashion, who's involved, financials, document and copyright authentication, from a logistics point of view, from an agriculture point of view, from a telecom point of view, from a carbon asset automobile point of view, from tech partners, from Amazon, all the way, there is just so much here to grasp and to think of where we are right now from a price point of view. It is insane, it is one of those things that we will look back in 2022, 2023. We will look back and be like, wow, there were people that actually had an opportunity to purchase Vechain at those prices and they didn't. Why? And it's not financial advice, right? And I am not a financial advisor. You know this if you've been following the channel. I just call it like I see it. You cannot argue with me that this is not impressive. It is super impressive. I like what Daily Hold published, saying that the view on the trend at the moment and where it's going and where it's at and where I think, the flip from the support point of view will be. And I like this, this makes a lot of sense, and we're not too far away. Now, this is the Bitcoin versus Vechain chart. So you might look at the numbers and be like, I'm a bit confused there. But this is a Bitcoin versus Vechain chart. So not too far away from, where the major flip support is. And the flip support is basically the support level where, a coin, if they are good and they're a good asset, then they will flip back into a positive action. So very exciting to see that. Now, Vechain price analysis, VT breaks 7, target 6 next. Yes, well, we're already there. We already touched 6 cents. And we've been in 6 cents all day. We almost dipped into 5 cents for a little bit, but then we had a spike in numbers, and so that's really interesting. And of course, these analysts, they'll look purely at numbers. Now, Vechain may be one of the China adopts most. Heads up for those who want to diversify their portfolio. I like this. I like this. Little infographic that has been made. What is Vechain? Vechain aims to use power of blockchain to improve the existing supply chain processes. We've had that line on the channel before. Its intention is to track the goods of every step, starting from production to delivery. With Vechain, users will be able to verify and check for authenticity of their products. And Vechain has partnered with major companies like Walmart, China, LVMH Group, and Haier. So I like this, it's nice and simple, and it's great to have things like this out there that very quickly you could just send it to a friend and even for yourself as a reminder of what it is that you hold. And please always do your research. Vechain down 13.2 billion in 3 months. Everyone looking for hope. The sooner we start to produce millions of real world things, the sooner we can break away from Bitcoin and promote stability. So one of the big talking points at the moment has been obviously the Bitcoin dominance and being I guess in charge by Bitcoin, right? Whatever Bitcoin does, everyone else does. The big talking point in crypto is this particular topic, the topic of when will certain coins stop relying on Bitcoin? When will because some will, right? And this isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. As the cryptocurrency world evolves, as the blockchains evolve, as mass adoption evolves, not everything will be pinned to Bitcoin forever. And so the Vechain question is, when does this happen, right? When do we get to that level? What products and what volume needs to happen for Vechain to do that? And these are super valid questions, really important questions to ask. Is Vechain one of those coins that can break away from Bitcoin? My answer, based on my research, is yes. There are others who will break away from Bitcoin's dominance, Ethereum's dominance. Vechain, for me, is one of those. And I say that only because I've done my research. It is a very, very important topic, and I would love the comments in the comment section on what you think are some of the other coins that can break away from Bitcoin. I would love to know what you guys think, and if I like it, I might even bring them up on the channel as well, because it has to finish at some stage. As we, 2022, 2023 and beyond, at some stage this has to stop, right? We cannot just be pinned by one. We got to break away. Let's go into Atani. Let's have a look at some of the indicators. As we begin to look inside the indicators and what is going on, this is on the 12-hourly chart. So we saw that we were almost at the end of the Bollinger Band, and we kicked out and made some really, really good volume. Now on the RSI, we were sitting in the oversold. And we were in the oversold for quite a bit. We were in the oversold for, I believe it was like a good, 2.5, 3 hours. And then we kicked off again. And only now, we're coming back into, we were in more than oversold. And now we're just back inside the RSI. So, again, this has been happening far too often. When we reach a certain level, when we reach a certain point, at that point, massive volume is kicking in. And so it's defending the entire market from going below 30,000 on Bitcoin, and the rest of the market from dropping even further, which has been the argument for a long time, that people saying, we're going to go into the 20s, into 24s, 25s for Bitcoin. Every time it looks that way, a massive amount of volume comes back in and proves us wrong, and it's happened again. I thought that we could go below 30,000, but I also am aware of just the strong volume that kicks in every time we're about to get close to that. Happened again. So on the MACD, we are still sitting in a bearish. On the RSI, we are at the bottom of the bottom at the moment. On the hourly, we almost went out. We went outside the Bollinger Band. That's how much volume kicked in, and now we're sort of trending back down a little bit. But massive volume now for the 4 hour. Similar, it is sitting on a trend. We're 2.73% up for the day, so let's not, count. We're still in the sixes. We're not in the sevens. So there's still a long way to go. But for me personally, I think that every time we've tested the waters and we've about to go into below 30,000 for Bitcoin, a massive amount of volume has kicked in, and we have to take that into account. We cannot exclude that, right? And you can have an opinion, I can have an opinion, but at the end of the day, numbers talk, and bullshit takes the bus. And numbers are speaking to us, and we have to recognize that. Let's have a look at some drawings. What can we expect from Vechain coming up? Okay, so when we look at the numbers and we look at where we're at right now and what would need to happen. So a couple of things. If we drop and we break some barriers, then we will be going into the 5 cents zone, maybe 5.5, 5 cents, 5.00, or maybe even a flat 5, right? You could see that. Now I say that, but it would take a lot for that to happen, and it would be a retest of what happened last time Bitcoin went into the 28,000 range. And I think, we'd have to see a Bitcoin of 28,000 in order to see those numbers. So be on the lookout for that. From here, if we were to break out, we're going to go back into the sevens, go above, and then hit 8 cents, right? And then retest it, and then we would be off. So they are the two things to look out for. Does it change the outlook of the long-term perspective? Not for me personally. I still believe $1.10 by the end of the year, and then maybe perhaps towards March, maybe even perhaps $1.50, because there's a lot coming for Vechain. I know you ask about longevity, long term. There was a recent article that got published about 12 hours ago, talking about what Vechain price will be in 2025. I don't like to talk about 2025. There are so many variables, so many things that can happen on a daily basis. I do know that the company is super solid. I do know that the company is incredible. I mean, you can draw charts, and this chart has made headways around the world, saying that by a certain date or the fifth wave, we would be at $4.50 Vechain. Now, so many things have to go right. So many new partnerships have to be built. So much volume has to come into Vechain. I'm not going to talk about that, right? I want to talk about what's real. For me, $1 is real. For me, based on my research, hitting $1, that's real. Then having a retest, and then we move forward and continue to push forward, and we will see where we're at. But don't base your decision, that in 3-4 years from now, Vechain will be $4.50, because I'm sure Nokia with their 3310 had the same projections and ideas, and then boom, Apple came along and wiped them out. So that is my case, and that's why I tell you what I tell you, because sometimes we don't think long term enough, but sometimes we think too long term, and it can catch you out. So if we're going up 8 cents, 10 cents, 13 cents, they're all really good take profit opportunities if you're not looking to be back in. Pullback, would be 5, 6, right? So I think that is that is I think something that can that can happen, and so be on the lookout for that. And then from a target point of view, again, if you are to get in, roughly where we are right now, or a little bit lower than this at the moment, just remember that the 8 cents, 10 cents, and 13 cents are great to take profit opportunity. If you're a day trader, if you're a long-term holder, simply hold. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you are part of the Vechain family and part of the Vechain train. Super exciting to bring you these type of updates, and I look forward to see you on the next one.